All right, let's just jump right in. Imagine getting the ultimate do-over. And I'm not just talking about a simple second chance. I mean, what if you could completely rewrite a life of failure, but this time with overwhelming power and a perfect memory of the future? Yeah, that's the incredible idea at the heart of this story. You know, for you and me, the past is, well, it's the past, right? It's set in stone. It's just a bunch of memories, maybe some regrets, but things we can never ever change. What's done is done. But for our guy here, nope, not at all. For him, the past has suddenly, impossibly become his present. And you can just see it, right? That look in his eyes, it says everything. He remembers it all. So, how in the world does a journey this impossible even begin? Well, it all starts when he wakes up, smack dab in the middle of a life he thought he'd left behind decades ago. So he's not in some crappy, cheap apartment in the present day. No way. He's back in his old teenage bedroom. He even calls it a historic site for all his youthful angst, which is pretty funny. And the crazy thing is, everything is exactly as he left it. And this is the moment it all clicks. And that cold dread just washes over him. This is not a dream. The calendar on his wall confirms the impossible. It's August 2006. He has actually been sent back in time. And this is the incredible contrast at the very core of his new reality. On one hand, he's got these crystal clear, vivid memories of the bleak future he just came from, a total life of failure and regret. But on the other hand, his new reality, he's young, he's healthy, and he has his entire life to live over again. Talk about a clean slate. Now, this is the absolute crucial point, the real game changer. It's not just his mind that traveled back. He has perfect recall of the future. We're talking exam answers, stock market trends, huge global events. It's all just there, stored in his mind, crystal clear. Okay, so this begs the obvious question, right? How did this even happen? Well, as it turns out, his trip back in time was actually triggered by a really bizarre and, frankly, incredibly painful awakening. Right before he woke up back in 2006, he had this weird, fragmented memory. He's on top of some remote, mystical mountain peak with this strange old master who offers him what he calls an off-the-books lesson. Pretty cryptic, right? And this lesson comes with a super ominous warning. The master tells him flat out, the more pain, the more you will gain. So yeah, this isn't going to be some gentle transfer of knowledge. It's going to hurt. A lot. And then, bam, the master just unleashes his absolute torrent of energy right into him. He describes the feeling as literally dying, just this unbearable, all-consuming pain that completely overwhelms his body from the inside out. But all that agony, it actually had a purpose, a huge one. It was the only way for him to learn this legendary martial arts skill, the Fist of Two Hearts, Five Elements, and the Source of Creation. It's a power that basically rewrites the rulebook on what a human being is capable of. And he gets his first real proof that this whole thing was real just moments after he wakes up. His body, now coursing with this new energy, just violently purges years and years of junk, all the impurities from his unhealthy adult life. He's been, for all intents and purposes, literally reborn. Okay, so let's recap. He's got knowledge of the future and this legendary new power. What's the very first thing he does? He finds his purpose, and it's all about his family. He walks downstairs, and there's his mom. She's alive, she's well, and she's making him a home-cooked meal. It's such a simple, everyday thing, but for him, in that moment, it's an absolute miracle. It hits him that if he hadn't come back, he never would have tasted her food again. But this really heartwarming reunion is almost immediately hit by a harsh dose of reality. You see, their house is practically falling apart, and he knows from his memories of the future that in just a few months, his father's debts are going to catch up to them. They're on the verge of losing everything, the house, the land, all of it. So here's the central problem, right? He basically has the winning lottery numbers for the next decade. He knows exactly how to fix this. But, and it's a big but, he's a high school kid with zero money. Knowledge is pretty useless when you don't have the cash to act on it. And that brings us to his first big move. How does a broke teenager in 2006 make life-changing money and fast? Well, it's not going to be with his new superpowers. It's going to be with some incredibly clever, outside-the-box thinking. And what's his only asset? This absolute dinosaur of a computer. We're talking a Celeron 500 processor with a whopping, wait for it, 6 megabytes of RAM. I mean, for anyone who remembers 2006, you know this thing was basically a doorstop even back then. Okay, so his plan is just genius. It's a little morally gray, but genius. Here's how it works. Step 1. He remembers a web novel that's going to be a massive smash hit, but it won't actually be published for another few months. Step 2. He writes the first 10 episodes completely from his perfect memory. Step 3. He publishes it on the most popular web novel site at the time. And the final step, the checkmate move, secure the publishing contract for himself before the real author ever gets a chance to write it. And you know what? It works. It works better than he could have possibly imagined. The story is an instant hit. His inbox just explodes with contract offers, including from the top 5 publishing companies in the entire genre. The first part of his master plan, a complete and total success. But here's where you see how strategic he's thinking. He doesn't just jump on the biggest money offer. No, he makes a very calculated move. He chooses to sign with Nice Media, the exact same company that originally published the novel in his first life. See, he's not just grabbing cash. He's carefully controlling the flow of history, making sure things proceed just as he remembers, but with him in the driver's seat. So, with the money problem now on its way to being solved, you'd think he'd relax, right? Not a chance. This is what shows his new mindset. He immediately finds a secluded mountain so he can start training and mastering the incredible power he was given. He is absolutely determined to never, ever be a failure again. And all of this leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to think about, doesn't it? He has the power of a god and knowledge of everything to come. He has the ultimate cheat codes for life. But is that truly enough to rewrite his destiny and escape the person he used to be?